strange to see like someone walking their cow in the morning. I guess I got used to that, but it's pretty odd. As well, there'd be like horses on the highway, so if you're not careful, like you're gonna slam into the back of the horse because the horse obviously isn't going 100 like everybody else is. And then probably one of the saddest stories in the whole Ukraine. We're at the bus stop one night, and there's a drunk guy. There's a lot of stray dogs. It's a problem in a lot of countries, but there's a lot of stray dogs, and this drunk guy tells the dog to run to the street, and then the dog does, chasing this bus, and another car smokes the dog, and there's a group of 5 of us and just watch this dog die, and it was the saddest thing I've ever seen, like personally. And this was just like, and then the drunk guy just drags the dog off the road, leaves it at the bus stop, and it didn't really faze anyone I was with. That was kind of the weirdest part. It was just like kind of normal for them, even though it was like crazy for me. Getting around. So people can't really afford vehicles for the most part, so people take the bus. It's about 19 cents, which is still a fair bit for them. And also driving is really crazy. There's basically no rules of the road. Do whatever you want to do. But actually, buying a car is actually way more expensive because like it should be cheap with like Germany being right there, big manufacturer, Poland as well. But there's huge tariffs on everything they buy. So cars are about twice as expensive as they should be. In Canada, fuel's about the same, maybe a bit more. And people end up buying these vans, and those that can't afford, and usually they buy them without windows, they convert it with windows. So they make a lot of changes. And vans are the most practical for them because you can fit 15 people in a van if you need to. If you own a car, you are a shuttle for everyone. You are a taxi if you have a car. This is an auto store. Notice that's a tree. It's outside, middle of winter. Pretty crazy. Wouldn't want to work there. Here is an auto shop. So this is, go ahead. Oh my goodness. We started too late. We gotta hurry up. So, we're just gonna skip a few slides here. It's the market, outdoor market. These saunas were an interesting experience. You go like burn yourself at 130 degrees Fahrenheit, then you eat, then you do it again and repeat. It's pretty interesting. Pretty strange. This was the craziest experience. We were next to the Supermax prison, the sauna and Supermax prison, right beside each other. So like our inmates could like see us like roasting and eating, and it was crazy. One of the coolest miracles that happened right around the time I got there was the blessing of this new church. So through Heart, half the land required for building this thing was donated for the church, and the city actually gave half the land. I don't know like what city just gives you a plot of land, and fairly sizable, but they just gave it, and that's some pictures of the future church. This is just us working on the church. I don't know what you're talking about. We got lots of time, Nathan. Working on the church in the middle of the night. We're just building the fans, and yeah. I didn't go over there to like speak or do any pastoring or anything like that, but like they just like, oh, do you want to talk tonight? I'm like, not really. They're like, okay, you're talking tonight. Great. So I ended up talking like 5, 6, maybe more times in 2 months, which seemed like I was talking more than their own pastors. But some of you might recognize Tanya. She translated one day for me when Igor was gone. This is a schedule. It was pretty busy, but not too busy. So I never had time to get ahead, but the Lord always gave me enough time to get through what I needed to in the day, which is really cool. One thing that I noticed one day was one Wednesday. So we had, at 7 a.m., they have a prayer breakfast. The men gather, we pray, have a Bible study kind of thing. And then at night, the whole church gathers and we pray together. Then, basically it's a day off, there's no English that day. I think I watched one Center Street sermon, and I spent my own time in the Word and praying. And I think that day I spent 6 hours devoted to God. Now, like, and then I just thought about it. I was like, I felt like I had done nothing the whole day. Literally, I felt like I did nothing. But I was like, man, like, I've devoted 6 hours to God today. Like, I was like, I can't remember a day that I've done that in my entire life. Like, 6 whole hours just for Him, just for time for you and Him. And it was pretty cool. And like, maybe I've like been to a conference, but it wasn't like as engaging as like that much time with the Lord. It's pretty cool. This is my study buddy. He had helped me prepare. This is a picture of the men's breakfast, typical meal. So they would pray. Share a quick story of how they got this place, this church facility. They don't have their own church facility, but they prayed for 3 years straight, for 3 years, to get a place. Like I was blown away when the Lord provided this place. We prayed for, 6 months. But they prayed for 3 years, and then God provided a place for them. And they use it every single day. Like, it's unbelievable. Without missing a day. Like, 7 a.m. every Wednesday, unless you're sick, you're there. It's pretty cool. This is a photo of one of the paintings in the Lighthouse Club. That was really cool. This is a picture of the club itself. What's cool about this is someone in our group, I'm not sure if they're here today or not, but provided the chairs and the heating for them. So thank you to them, but it's pretty cool. Now they have somewhere to like be without freezing. They can take their jackets off and have somewhere to sit. This is just a picture after one of our evenings in the Lighthouse. We went to the village one day. We went to speak in the village, which was really strange. I thought we were going to lose our bus on the drive into the village. We're just going through like mud, and we got there, and there's like 8 widows and like one couple, and they're all old. And I had something prepared to speak, and I was like, this is not the right time to speak this. This is not the right audience. So I had to change it. I had to scrap everything I had prepared and just talk about something else. But it worked out, and it was cool to be a blessing to them and to let them know that they weren't alone in the world, because nobody comes to visit them. And a village is basically just a small community outside of similar to a town, but a bit smaller. We had this worship night. It was really cool. Another picture of the lighthouse. I didn't know it was going to be 4 hours. It started at 10 p.m. We ended at 2 a.m. This was after Bible study. So yeah, who wants to be here till 2 a.m. tonight? So at 10 o'clock, we're going to start worshiping for 4 hours straight. But it was pretty cool. Just everyone and their passion, and it's super cool to see. Some more pictures of the room. We did many different things. Trivia night, games nights, many different things to bring non-Christians in. Any nights we had free, we wanted to make the most of, kind of thing. What was interesting, we went to Poland. Joyce had to renew her visa, so we decided to go on a group trip to Poland. And I took for granted the ability to leave our country and go wherever we wanted to go. First off, we had to pay an outrageous amount of money just to get the visas for them to leave their country. And then we left in the middle of the night, and we got held up at the border for 4 hours, and apparently that's a short amount of time at the border. Like, I couldn't believe what it took to leave the country. It blew my mind. I don't know if some of you have been to this place. Auschwitz from World War II, German concentration camp. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I won't say too much about it, other than it's probably the heaviest place to ever be, like, on your heart in the world. 1.1 million people died here, most of them Jews. Simply because of their race. Gas chambers, execution, experiment rooms. The hair was pretty shocking. This is the hair It's like the whole hallway of hair just piled to the ceiling in this room, of all the women that were murdered in the gas chambers. And all the hair is traces of the pesticides they used to kill them. And it's pretty shocking to see. And there's room after room of stuff like that. It's interesting to see the worst that humanity has ever got to. In a better light, food was pretty cheap, so it didn't cost too much to take like a whole group of people out for pizza, and bless them in little ways like this, at like their fanciest restaurant, and they had an English menu, which was great. So another thing we did was we tried to build a relationship with the school to bring more people to English, to invite more people to Bible study, and so on. And so we did that. We spoke at the school. It was pretty full. And like, man, like, people just loved it. Like they're all pumped for English and like coming out, and like, man, it was so cool. Like, and I even made social media. Like, I think it's my first time on Instagram. Pretty cool. But this is our English class. We had like, I don't know, maybe like 10 people before. And this is our next English class after going to the school. There's like over 20 people there. And just kept growing and growing. The Lord kept providing and just blessing it. And more people would come. Some of you may have seen this photo on Facebook. This was a very interesting. This girl has cerebral palsy. She can't really do anything. She used to be able to walk a little bit.